I've been asked a few questions by the lovely people at Images and Frames, which is a brilliant, brilliant gallery who have sold my work for years and years, and I've been there for an exhibition, and it was great. And so they've asked me a few questions to answer. You'll just have heard a sneeze. You might hear a 2-year-old come running in. We're on lockdown at the minute, and yeah. Let's start. So the first question was, how do you start your paintings? I start them, it depends what it was. I start them in lots of different ways. I get very handsy when I get into art talk. I get all like this. If I know what the subject is going to be for sure, so say a gorilla, I might start by mapping out the gorilla first and building up the gorilla. If it's something more abstract, it's the colour and the texture that leads the way completely. So I will probably throw down loads of colour, and I'll just start working into it and making shapes and making textures, and then see what might come out. So there might be a shape that's a bit like a leaf, so I can go like, oh, maybe I'll put a leaf here. I kind of let the subjects come at me, and this kind of happened with work like this. This was more, so there's something where I know what I'm doing, and it kind of starts from the centre out. So like, I know I'm doing a gorilla, I know I want it to look fierce, or I want it to look gentle, and it kind of bursts out that way. Does that make sense? But if it's something more abstract like this work, it's just a case of, I'll start with the background, and then I'll start throwing some things on and just kind of let my gut take me and just see what happens. Sometimes it goes in a great direction that I love, and sometimes it goes in a weird direction, or sometimes it doesn't work out. But yeah, they're the two main ways that I tend to start painting. I don't tend to draw. Maybe sometimes if I'm really struggling with the proportions of a subject, I might draw it out, but it's quite rare that I do that now, because I've gotten so used to my subjects and just painting and drawing in general. I can kind of just throw it on, and it's more important how it builds up, and I'll adjust it all from there rather than getting the foundation perfect. I get the perfection as I build, rather than, like, some people need the base of foundation, of perfection in the foundation to build on top of, but I move it as I go along. I get very rambly when I talk about my work. Where do you get your inspiration from? For nature and wildlife, always, 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 nature, wildlife. They're what my subjects are. But the two other things are oil paints in general, and how they work, and the colours. They are one of the biggest drives in painting. I just love them. I love oil paints. I love them so much. So there's this like desire to paint nature and paint it in a different way. But then there's also this desire to just paint and use oils. If I've not painted in oils for a while, or if I'm just playing around with watercolours or something else, it's like I have withdrawal, and I just need to use them. I just love them. So yeah, my inspiration, nature, specifically wildlife. I'm very much enjoying botanicals and flowers at the minute. And yeah, and oil paints themselves are an inspiration for me, and the colours that you get and the pigments in oil paints, because they propel it forwards. If there's a colour that I'm really enjoying and I like the way it mixes with this one or mixes with that, I then can't stop, and I just need to do more. What's the next one? Are you looking into any other charities at the moment? So I was working on an endangered collection, and that's something that I'm definitely going back to. It was after watching Our Planet, and every single episode made me cry. and I think there's a lot more that I can do using my wildlife work and just my passion for wildlife and nature. I would like to take it in the direction of looking out for nature and for wildlife. I've already done that a touch, but I think I could do a lot more. At the moment, with everything that's going on with the coronavirus, I am looking at releasing a print soon. I'm just trying to figure out and round off how it's going to work, where I can raise money for a really brilliant charity that is trying to help people get fed in this time. They work with food banks, and it's a brilliant charity that was suggested to me, and I can't wait to figure that out properly, especially at this time.